Yo, what's up, sports bettors? Yesterday, MLB opening day was a little rough, a little bit of a disappointment. You can see here we had a 6 flex. It bumped down to a 5 flex because this player did not play, so our 6 flex becomes a 5 flex. Didn't get the 10x payout, though. Zach Gallen, less than 5.5 strikeouts, did not hit. Regardless, back at it today. And remember, every Friday on PrizePicks, your first bet is insured up to $20. If you lose your flex play, right, the first flex play you place after 10:30 a.m. Eastern, you get your money back. So regardless, these promos, you want to take advantage of them. It's basically free money from sportsbooks. Your first bet is insured up to $20. So definitely want to be taking advantage of this. But regardless, let's get into some of my picks. So you can see lines are moving. This is just player rebounds on the odds jam screen. So again, the way this tool works is any market, any sport you want to look at, it just kind of reads in the odds, the lines from all the books and highlights line movements. But the way I use this tool is I look for value, right? So you can see here, the first play I'm on is Vukovic over 12 rebounds. So obviously 12 is a high number, but as a sharp bettor, we're following the data, right? So what you're going to notice is Vukovic, his line is 12 on PrizePicks, right? On Underdog, it's 12.5. On Caesars, BetMGM, all the sports books, it's 12.5. And it's not like the under is super heavily juiced, right? Sportsbooks kind of have the under 12.5 around minus 120. So the under 12.5 is slightly favored, but not by much, right? So this is what happens because sportsbooks try to be unique. They all want to set lines independently, right? So as a sharp bettor, you're looking for inefficiencies in the market. That's called finding an edge. And what you're going to see here is PrizePicks is at 12. Every other data point in the market, every other sports book is at 12.5. Underdog Fantasy, their direct competitor, is also at 12.5. So PrizePicks is too low, right? We want to take the over. We found an inefficiency. They're half of a rebound lower than the market for Vukovic, and it's not like the sports books have the under very heavily favored. So this is the first play I went with. And again, I'll include my email in the description. I try to talk fast, go through a lot of things, give out profitable plays that you guys can tail, but any questions you have, obviously never hesitate to reach out. I mean, the purpose of OddsJam is to help sports bettors win. So you can see there's different, you can use this screen. Basically, I'm playing on PrizePicks and Underdog, because these platforms are direct competitors, they work in basically the exact same way. I'm looking for mainly discrepancies between PrizePicks and Underdog. So you can see here for this Jacob guy, whereas for Fred VanVleet, we don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole, right? I don't care what your gut, your emotions tell you. Every book has Fred VanVleet's line at 3.5. They all have nearly identical odds. PrizePicks and Underdog are at 3.5 as well. There's no value in the market. We don't want to touch it, right? As a sharp bettor, you're looking for those few rare betting opportunities, right, where PrizePicks is slipping up. So you're hunting through, tens of thousands of odds just for player rebounds, looking for spots where there's value in the market on a specific sports book. It doesn't have to be PrizePicks, it could be Underdog, right? So here, no value on Fox. All books, PrizePicks, Underdog have his line at 3.5. There's no value, no discrepancies in the market. There's no edge, right? Same with Sabonis. So long story short, the way I use this tool mainly is, again, looking for discrepancies between PrizePicks and Underdog and trying to find, plays like the Vukovic play, which was clearly PrizePicks is too low, right? And this happens because books try to set lines independently. They all want to be unique, right? If every book had the exact same odds, we wouldn't need freaking, hundreds of sports books in the world. So long story short, that's the first play I went with from the Odds Jam screen. Now, the second play I went with, we can flip over to, we can flip over to Underdog Fantasy. So you can see right here, Marte to get a hit is available. Ketel Marte to get a hit is available on Underdog Fantasy, right? There's a bunch of plays on Fliff. Fliff is a new platform available on OddsJam. You can use it if you're 18 plus, I think in basically every state except Washington. So when I talk about, profitable betting strategy, it's not just PrizePicks. I focus on PrizePicks because it's the most popular in a lot of these videos. There's value on Fliff. There's value on WinBet, right? There's value on Underdog Fantasy. All different sports books, same concepts. Look for value, look for an edge, follow the data, not your gut, not your emotions. So you can see right here, Marte to get a hit is minus 122 on Underdog. That's the odds, right, for a 3-pick entry. So again, what makes PrizePicks and Underdog really interesting is these platforms don't have odds, right? They don't vary your payouts depending on you selecting overs or unders. So you can see here, 20 to win 60, 20 to win 60, right? There's if you pick overs or unders, So if we create a 3-pick, it doesn't matter if we take overs or unders. Your payout doesn't change, right? That's different than a sports book, right? Like you can see here, this 3-leg parlay I created on FanDuel. If I switch Mika from an over to an under, my parlay goes from plus 329 odds with a payout of 1152 to a payout of, plus 393 odds with a payout of 1377. So again, sportsbooks vary payouts. So as a sharp bettor, you're looking for spots where sportsbooks have an over or an under really heavily favored, and you can still get that pick on Underdog Fantasy. Again, because Underdog PrizePicks, they don't vary your payouts depending on you selecting the over or the under. So you can see here on the positive EV tool, Underdog Fantasy, it's optimal to go with 3-pick or 5-pick entries. They have Marte to get a hit at minus 122. That's the odds on Underdog Fantasy for a 3-pick entry. We've gone through this math so many times. I have tons of tutorial videos about Underdog Fantasy. And again, you can reach out with questions. So we're getting minus 122 on Underdog. Look at the odds on sportsbooks. Caesars, minus 146. DraftKings has the over, heavily favored for Marte, minus 145. Bet Online, a really sharp offshore sportsbook, has the over, heavily favored for Marte, minus 169. Bovada and frickin' FanDuel have this minus 240. So we're literally getting 120 cents of improvement from FanDuel and from Bovada, right? So here's kind of what I created on Underdog. Again, just following the data. If there's more value on Underdog in these videos, I'll be giving out more plays on Underdog because Underdog's also popular. If there's no value on Underdog, I want to plays on Underdog in a day. But long story short, here's what I ended up going with. Right here, Marte to get a hit, Williams over 4.5 assists, Mika over 2.5 shots on goal. Literally all just plays off the EV tool. Finding spots where sportsbooks have an over or an under, really heavily favored, right? And we're getting a ton of improvement on Underdog. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sportsbooks, 7 sportsbooks, all posting odds if you include Fliff. They're all telling us Marte to get a hit should be really heavily favored. We can get this in our Underdog entry, clear value, a play you want to go with. Right? It really is that simple. As a sharp bettor, you're looking for value out of the, tens of thousands of odds on Underdog Fantasy. You're looking for those few rare betting opportunities like Marte where they're screwing up and the sportsbooks are saying, no, this over is really likely to occur. So if you think about it, this 3-leg parlay I created right here. So you can see here, it's 350 to win 1162.25. Mika over 2.5 shots on goal, Jalen Williams over 4.5 assists, Marte to get a hit. On FanDuel, this is 350 to win 1162, right? To win $1,162. On Underdog Fantasy, we're getting for 2,100, right? So I talk about this all the time, but when I talk about making money as a sharp bettor, it's not like every bet is guaranteed to win. I updated, today my PrizePicks profit and loss. You can see I'm down 3K from the peak if you kind of can have good eyes. Our peak profit was 17K, back down to around 14K. So not every day wins, right? But we're finding plays with an edge so we have a long-term ROI, which is all I talk about, in these videos, winning long-term, right? I'm not talking about getting rich quick. I'm just showing you things I bet on, finding plays with a mathematical edge over the book, right? So anyways, let's switch over to PrizePicks. And again, different books have different betting opportunities. This play, Trae Young, over 25.5 points. If you only have Underdog Fantasy, this play's not available. It's only on PrizePicks. At the same time, if you only have PrizePicks, you weren't able to get this really profitable play on Marte, right? Where literally the payout on FanDuel is 1162.25. On freaking, Underdog Fantasy, we're getting $2,100. So it's plus... So FanDuel is plus 332 odds if you think about it for this parlay. And then on Underdog Fantasy, you're always getting plus 500 odds, any 3-pick entry. But anyways, regardless, Trae Young over 25.5 points, right? That's the first play on PrizePicks I ended up going with. So again, OddsJam is a pretty simple platform, right? There's no BS. There's no inside knowledge about coaches. There's no BS. It just pulls in all this data, player shots on goal, golf lines, MLB, NBA, and points out value. Right? So we know on PrizePicks in a 5 flex, we're getting minus 119 odds, right? Or a 6 flex. So I've explained this numerous times, but I think it's that important so we can go through it, right? Is if on PrizePicks, if you can select your overs and unders at a rate of 57%, so if you can select your overs and unders 57% of the time you're correct, 43% of the time you're wrong long term, you would be really profitable playing 5 flexes. Your ROI would be 19.3%, right? And the spreadsheet's in the description, literally just breaking down the payouts. Nothing fancy. 19.3% is your ROI if you can hit plays at a rate of 57% in a 5 flex. So why is that so interesting? Well, for a 2-pick power play, your ROI hitting at a rate of 57%. So if you're playing 2-pick entries on PrizePicks, your ROI is negative 2.53%, right? So you're never like negative 2.53% for a 2-pick power play. For a 5 flex, it was 19.3%, positive 19.3%. That's a huge difference, right? So long story short, you're never going to see me giving out anything but 5 and 6 pick flexes. And it's not because I just like 5 and 6 pick flexes. It's literally optimal. If you want to make money on PrizePicks, you have to be playing 5 and 6 pick flexes. My ROI would be negative if I was playing 2-pick power plays. And I'm at 14K profit on the year, 10.41% ROI. Am I getting rich quick? No, absolutely not. I have 394 wins. I mean, these are round robins. So if you go 3 for 5, 4 for 5, or 5 for 5, it's considered a win. 289 losses and 103 pushes, right? So long story short, I'm not winning, on PrizePicks. It's not like I'm winning every day. It's not like the graph is just, some crazy profit graph. You can see ups and downs. But again, finding plays with an edge, like Trae Young, over 25.5 points, where all the sports books have the over really heavily favored. Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker in the world, they're pricing Trae Young's over at minus 162. Hard Rock, Golden Nugget, minus 155, minus 145. So you kind of look at all these data points, right? And you get a sense of, okay, sports books have Trae, over 25.5 points, maybe around minus 140, minus 145 odds. We're getting minus 119 in a flex play, really good value, right? So basically, I just, you can literally, if the EV tool is probably the easiest tool to use on OddsJam if you're a new sports bettor, because you literally just put in the sports books you use, which is all I do, and then you hit the bets. Tommy LaStella to get on base, Trae over 25.5 points. JP Crawford to get on base, Jared Kalenic to get on base, Mika over 2.5 shots on goal, which again, we also played on Underdog Fantasy. So that was a case where the line was available on both Underdog and PrizePicks. But you're going to notice that's not always the case, right? This play on Marte, it's not available on PrizePicks. If you only have PrizePicks, you missed the super profitable betting opportunity. And I say it all the time, but if we go back here, I'm up, 14K on PrizePicks so far this year. I'm up 118K on the year total. Right? So 104K is from non-PrizePicks plays. More sportsbooks, more profitable betting opportunities, more money in your pocket, right? So Trae over, Tommy LaStella over, JP Crawford over, Jared Kalenic over. You can see there's plays on FanDuel as well. So really, as a sharp bettor, you want as many sportsbooks as possible, right? More sportsbooks, more profitable betting opportunities, more edge, more money in your pocket, right? Like you can see in 2022, I placed over 7,000 bets, right? 205K profit, 4.44% ROI. That was spread across numerous sports books. And again, the reason is you never know where the value is going to be on a given day. Sometimes it's on Underdog, like this play I explained earlier, and sometimes it's on PrizePicks. So let's go through my entries. Trae over 25.5 points. Again, this play just from the OddsJam EV tool. Tommy LaStella to get on base, Jared Kalenic to get on base, Mika over 2.5 shots on goal, Vukovic over 12 rebounds. 4 of these plays directly off the EV tool, literally just following the data. I never bet with my gut. 99.9% of sports bettors bet with their gut. That's why none of them make money. So first play I went with, and then second play I went with, I just replaced Vukovic with Yon Moncada to get on base. All overs, 5 overs. 400 to win 4,000. Mathematical sports betting. Not every day is going to be pretty, but you win long term, right? And again, I say this all the time too, but the reason sports betting is so powerful is these games are today, right? So if you can have, like if we go back to this little thing, I earned in 2022 a 4.5% ROI roughly on my bets. Sure, there's some promos, right? There's promos like Flex Friday, stuff like that probably boosts up my ROI a bit because these promos, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to make money with this promo, right? Anyone can make money with this promo. It's super easy, right? So you definitely want to be taking advantage of the easy money promo sportsbooks give out to try to get you hooked, try to keep you coming back. So let's say, I earned 4% ROI on my bets. period, right? 4%. So if you think about it, in general, you're betting on games that are today. So you can see all these plays on OddsJam today. Sometimes you'll see a soccer play that's, this plays tomorrow on April 1st, but most of these games are today. If you can earn a 4% ROI in a day, think about that over the course of a month. 30 days in a month, 4% ROI a day. That's 4% times 30 is 120% ROI on your bets over the course of a month, right? So if you're betting, let's say $1,000 a day, you're betting $1,000 a day, you have to put in the work, you have to put in the hustle, you have to be betting every day. But if you're putting, down $1,000 of action at a 4% ROI every single day, that's 120% ROI on the month. You're earning 1.2K in profit every single month. 1.2K in profit every single month. So pretty good. So long story short, that's really all I got for you guys. There's profitable plays on all these books. I obviously focus, there's 185 freaking sports books on OddsJam. So if I just, you can see the most profitable plays on Fliff, then Stake, then Fliff again, then Jock Market. This is a new PrizePicks competitor, right? Then we have player strikeouts on FanDuel. More books, more profitable betting opportunities, right? Then we have Bet365. So as a sharp bettor, you want all these books, right? They're all outs. They all set prices independently. They all screw up in different areas, right? PrizePicks is pretty good at setting lines, but they have 10,000 plus lines on their site. They can't keep everything in check. So as a sharp bettor, OddsJam is updating millions of odds every second to point out these rare few betting opportunities where books are screwing up. So this is what I got for you guys. Hopefully it was helpful. Any questions, again, my email's in the description. Let's make money.